Hi, so in this video we are going to discuss something that is less about display, more about positioning. So what is positioning? It's basically what it sounds like. It is, you know, making sure that all the elements that are there are positioned correct the way you would like them, with a little bit more flexibility on pixels and little bit more flexibility on sizes of things, but that probably sounds vague. Let me just try to give you an idea here. Let's do this, right? I'll create one div, all right, and let's say, for example, we are creating a we are going to create a h1, and we are going to give it a class heading, and this div I'll give a class of header. Alright, then I will create another div and I'll give it a class para, and inside this I'll create a paragraph. Let's say 100, right? If I save this, come back, reload. This is what it looks like, right? Heading, okay, let's say our heading, right? So this is what it looks like. Now to our header, we'll just give a dot header, let's say margin, no, let's give it a background color aqua, and para will give a background color as well, let's say chocolate. We'll give it a border as well, 2px solid blue, right? So this is what it looks like now, right? What we'll do is we are going to change the position to static. So if I change the position to static, nothing changes. That's because static is basically the default, right? This is the default, right? It doesn't change anything, but I'm sure there might be some finicky cases where you need to use it. What happens if I change the position to relative? I save it. Again, nothing changes. But what if I add a margin top of, let's say, 100px? Again, nothing changes. What if I add a top? So what it does is it keeps the original space as it is of where our heading should be, and it adds a 100px to it, and the rest of the content below it kind of ignores that content, kind of ignores the fact that our heading has come up. If you put in margin top, it still behaves like a normal document, right? It comes below. But if you just add a top, it covers it. So top actually specifies how far an absolutely positioned box top margin edge is offset, which means if it is relatively or absolutely positioned, it will just drop it down. And the rest of the content, that is para, will kind of ignore that fact. Alright. What happens if I remove this and I create an absolute? So it shrinks it down. This content moves up. This is the length of our heading. Let's say I create a width of auto. Does it change anything? No. Let's say I create a width of 100 view width. So again, it works. Our heading covers the entire width. But the difference that you will see between relative and absolute is that relative used to keep a space on top where our heading should have been, but absolute doesn't, right? Absolute will ignore that original space and keep the content as it is, right? Now next is let's say next is position. I forgot what the position property was. Fixed, yeah, right. Now just for the sake of things, I am going to give a lot more content. Lorem 1000, right? So there's a lot more content, but if I make the position of this fixed, so what happens, oh, I didn't save it. I'll save it. I'll reload. Now our heading scrolls with the content, alright, and this paragraph completely ignores and just moves to the top and goes below our heading, right? What if I use the position sticky? Now if I use sticky, our heading stays where it should have been, the content stays where it should have been, the content doesn't ignore our heading and doesn't go below this. But as I scroll down, it goes back. Actually, did I make a mistake somewhere? Sticky. What should have happened is that it should scroll as well. So GPT is telling me that it's not working, but because sticky does not do unless you specify a top, bottom, or left or right. So let's do that. Let's say top is 100. I'll remove the width. I'll go back. I'll reload it. Now it still doesn't work. So now I have given a top of 0 because I don't want any space between the top. I will reload it. Yeah, now it scrolls. So yeah, you have to mention a top, bottom, or left. You have to define the position for it. According to GPT, it says for a sticky header, you must give it some top or 0 or something like that. Because if no offset is given, the browser doesn't know when to start sticking. So you have to tell it when to start sticking, so it behaves like a position static, right? So yeah, based on 0, it will start behaving like that, right? Let's say, what if I make a 50, top 50, what happens? I'll reload it. I'll scroll down. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. I guess if you make it 0, it still works, but why does it not work? Let's say if I keep top 50, then it doesn't work either. Why? Right? Does work with top 50px, but only if the element has enough space to scroll past that offset. If it doesn't, the sticky behavior will never be triggered, so it looks like it's not working. Okay, what if I give it 20px? Yeah, it still works. So it needs to have that much space, otherwise it doesn't work. Okay, so yeah, that's it. You kind of understand sticky now, absolute now, relative now, fixed now. Is there anything else? No. Relative, absolute, sticky, fixed, and static. So yeah, that's the end of the video for positioning. You kind of understand how to position different elements, but yeah, it's not really clear to me where the use case would arise. Maybe as we create more complicated UIs, that might come into play, but we'll see. Either way, I think it was a very in-depth concept that I might need to play around with, otherwise it's not evidently clear. But yeah, definitely it's something that you need to practice.